What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video I got my full-on review after completing one season in Call of Dragons. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. Doing a complete season on my main account. Now I did spend a little bit of money on this account because it is my main. So at the beginning of the season I spent, I think, like $20 or $25. I can't quite remember. I definitely spent less than 50. There's some good things that I like about this game, and there's also some things that just particularly I don't like because of the style of play that I like. I've played hundreds of base building war games. I am no noob when it comes to this genre, the 4X style or whatever you want to call it, these city builders. Now, what I like about this game, it has a lot of PvE content. In fact, I would say this game is more tailored towards PvE content than actually doing wars and battling other guilds. And the favorite thing I love about it is these monsters that we get to attack. So stuff like this flame dragon, all of these raids that we get to do in this game, I absolutely love. I think more base building war games should have specific PvE content involved like this. I love this idea where there's tons of these different monsters that you can attack and everyone has to gather up as a guild and attack them, and you have these big massive raids going on, and there's just a bunch of different monsters, a bunch of different levels. Now the unfortunate part about this is the fact that you also have to have a very active guild with a majority of members being available to do these raids. So communication, deciding on when you guys is the best time to attack one of these is another issue that I ran into a lot, where we just didn't have enough alliance members online to take down some of these tougher bosses in these raids. So that's another unfortunate part of this game, is it's, you know, there's a lot of PvE content, but you gotta be in a very active alliance to really have a lot of fun and take advantage of things like this. When it comes to battling, this game is done quite differently, and I don't particularly like the way the battle system is done. You really don't ever lose troops. They always just go to the hospital for the most part, and then you can just heal them up in two different ways. So it doesn't matter if you're attacking, you're defending. There really isn't a huge negative aspect to attacking other players. Now, some people can see this as good, some people can see it as bad, but I particularly don't like it. I like the more hardcore play style of these base building war games where the attacker loses casualties and they do not go to the hospital. So whatever troops get destroyed in the battle, they are gone forever. I like that hardcore play style a lot more than this kind of like casual where you can just throw thousands and thousands of troops out there, do tons of battles constantly without really any repercussions. There's really nothing to worry about when it comes to battles. It just doesn't seem as epic to me when you can just kind of throw out a march, attack anyone, and it's like, oh, some troops got destroyed, they go to the hospital, I just have to worry about healing them up. Whereas it makes it a lot more strategic and a lot more epic, and I guess some people would look at it as like punishing, but I don't necessarily look at it as in a bad way, but it's more thrilling, more like suspenseful, knowing that if you attack somebody, you better make sure that you are a lot stronger than them. Otherwise, a lot of your troops will be destroyed, and that can really set you back. So I like that because like whales are like big top tier players. If they go ahead and keep attacking someone, they potentially could actually lose a lot of their troops. And then they're like, damn, you know what I mean? All those troops that they spent hours upon hours training, they're now gone. And then when events come up for gathering or something, they don't have any troops. So it's kind of like, you know, it makes battling more strategic, at least for what I see it as. That's how I like it. I think that's just like my play style. I've had a lot more fun with games that did warring that way, as opposed to just not really having any repercussions to attacking other players and losing. That going said, there really isn't a lot of war depending on your, I mean, it's going to depend on your server, but at least the server that I was in for this season 1, there was hardly any wars between guilds really. It was mostly just PvE content and then people wanting to attack each other to get merits. So like that was the only initiative to attack other players, is to get merits. The merit system's kind of cool. Like, I understand it. I like that they went with their own different take on it. And it's just, particularly for me, I just don't like it. I like the hardcore play style a lot more than this merit system, where it's a lot more forgiving for just attacking random people and not having to worry about losing your troops permanently. The other thing is the seasons. The fact that we have season resets. It's good and bad. I like the idea of the seasons, because with a new season comes a lot more content. You're getting like brand new maps and brand new monsters to attack in raids, and you know, a lot new features. Like, all kinds of new features happen every season, and I really enjoy that. The only downside to it is the fact that certain things do get reset, and it can be kind of annoying. Our heroes get all reset back to level 1, which, I mean, it's okay, but it makes it, again, more grindy that you have to level them back up. But after a complete season, it's actually a lot faster to level them up, because you already have a bunch of troops ready. And I mean, you can level them up fairly quickly, but it just kind of feels a little bit annoying at times. The same thing with your artifacts as well. They go back to level 1. It's quite annoying that you have to level them back up as well. So little things like that, it's just kind of like, I don't know. Same thing with the notice board for your policies research. The fact that this all gets reset is also kind of a bummer as well as the Dragon Trail. This one was like, I don't know, you go so far, and this is like all PvE content, solo PvE content, and you just kind of go through all these levels, and then at the end of the season, you're basically starting back at level 1, and then you have to progress through it all over again. I mean, I don't know. That's like, to me, that's not fun, doing the same thing over and over again. I want to like know that my progress has stayed, and then maybe introduce new levels or something different. So, you know, there's good and bad when it comes to that. As far as the heroes go, the heroes are pretty solid. They're what I would expect from the different skills that they have, the different play styles. I do kind of wish there was a bit more. It feels like there's not a whole lot of heroes in this game for season 1. I know season 2 they added a few more. But I definitely would like to see a lot more like epics and even blue rares. I think the one biggest problem that I see a lot of games do is they always pump out these new heroes, and they always make them legendaries. It's like always a new hero, and it's always a legendary, and it's always hard to get. And I just don't like that. I feel like there needs to be more balance of giving us a variety of different heroes in different rarities. So we need to get more rare new heroes, more new epic heroes. It shouldn't always be legendaries. And that's one thing that I still haven't found any base building war game do. They all do it. They all pump out new legendary heroes. We never get like a new blue rare hero. The day that happens, I mean, that's going to be a good game that is actually like paying attention to its player base and its free to play players, because it's only right. Like, we should get new rare heroes that do things. It doesn't have to be some crazy skills, but it should be like a chase hero for free to play. And I think that's where a lot of the games fall off, is these chase heroes are always legendaries, and it's like free to play doesn't have a chance. Even low spenders, you know, you're never going to be able to chase and get that hero. You have to play for months upon months. Even if you're lucky, you know, you may not even get it. Whereas if you give like a brand new blue rare hero, it's like, hey, this is the chase hero for free to play. And then we're also going to give a legendary for the pay to win players to chase as well. Just having a balance of variety like that, I think, is so important. And again, this is just another one of those games that doesn't have that involved in it, unfortunately. I do like the pets. The pets are pretty cool. I think this was a new addition that was done well. There's definitely a few things that I don't like, though. It seems extremely hard to try and put new skills on them. A lot of the times when you're trying to put a new skill, instead of using an empty slot, it always uses a slot that is already has another skill. And then you have to make the difficult decision of, oh, do I want to replace it or do I just want to waste that skill that I just got? So I don't like that. I feel like there's a little bit too much RNG involved with the pets. Just way too much RNG involved with the pets. The base attributes for regenerating, I think that's fine for the RNG aspect. But when it comes to skills, I think you should personally be able to pick and choose which skills you remove and which ones you add. And I say that specifically because it's really hard to get these skills. I think it's pretty difficult to get the skills. I think if it was a lot easier to get them, then I could see the idea of the RNG, but it just doesn't feel like the balance is there. It just feels like it's unbalanced with the fact that it's a bit harder to get these skills, but then to place them on the heroes, that RNG aspect really just hurts it. Other than that, still a solid 4H base building war game that, hey, it can keep you entertained for quite a while. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.